So much.
Long as they're terrible. They're all terrible.
What's for it?
Why would we complain and
Okay, don't talk, you're on video.
Charlie. Give him mine. Like Armani?
I love Armani, this is right here.
That's my brother from Dayton.
Alright, so, we are doing some stuff that is just a tad bit challenging. So let's get our reference sheets out, and let's patiently see if we can figure out what's going on. We are on the back of page 50. We're problem 4. And our job is to verify or prove that this is true. So you remember from last time, what that means is we do whatever we can to this, and hopefully it will end up being that. Okay? So we have our little reference sheet in front of us. We can write whatever we want on that. So we're looking at it and we see a tangent plus a secant. Now what do we know about tangent? Now be careful, these are not squared. So you're not using any of the squared. Tangent is sine over cosine. And what do we know about secant? 1 over cosine. Well, that worked out great because I can add them. They have a common denominator already, and I can add them. Now, unfortunately, this is a hard problem. But you can do it. Just bear with me. Unfortunately, when I added them together, I didn't end up with the fraction I wanted to end up with. Okay, so what I really wanted to end up with is a cosine in the numerator. Right? That's what I wanted to end up with. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put a cosine in the numerator. What? Remember, I can do that as long as I also put 1 in the denominator. Now, what good does that do? Well, look at your denominator now. Again, this is a hard problem, kids. I'm not putting a problem this hard on a test or a quiz. But you ought to be able to do it. What we have in the bottom now is a cosine squared. Why does that make me happy? What is cosine squared? What?
1 plus
Sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. Right? So cosine squared is 1 minus sine squared. You can write this right on your paper if you want. This one's already written on your paper. That one I typed on there. But you can write this version if you want. So cosine squared is the same as 1 minus sine squared. Right? Now, why does that make me happy? Well, what can you tell me about 1 minus sine squared? Just look at that for a minute. Think about that. That is the difference of squares. 1 sine squared. And what can I do with the difference of squares? Factor. And how does that factor? How does the difference of squares factor? This difference, it would be 1 minus sine and 1 plus sine. Remember that? Like x squared minus 9, x plus 3, x minus 3. same thing. Now what do you notice? These are the same. This is what I have left, and that is exactly what I wanted to have left when I got done. Tough problem. Tough problem. But you know what? We're tough people. All right, next one. This one is easier. This one I would expect you to be able to do. All right, so let's talk about it, because we're just learning. I have a whole other sheet up here, practice. We'll do some of that too. All right. Your job is to do something to this and ultimately make it look like this. Okay, so let's look at our reference sheet. Now that is squared. What is tangent squared? Secant squared minus 1? So you can add that to your sheet. You have one written there that says 1 plus tangent squared is secant squared. So if you rearrange that, like we did that one, it says tangent squared is secant squared minus 1. You can add that to your sheet if you want to, just so it's there in front of you. It's just a different version of 1 plus tangent squared is secant squared. All right, now take a clue from the problem we just did. Look at that numerator. It's the difference of squares. So it will be secant minus 1, secant plus 1, and the order you do that doesn't matter. You have 1 minus 1 plus. And now what? You can cancel. And you're saying, well, but I still don't have what I need. But wait. What is secant? 1 over cosine. You can add that to your sheet too if it's not already there and you don't already have it memorized. 1 over secant is 1 over cosine. Now let's get a common denominator. This is just 1. So don't I need to multiply this one by cosine to get a common denominator? So now my denominator is cosine. What's on top? 1 minus cosine? 1 minus cosine? And that is what you want. So let's talk about that just a quick second. That one is not a hard one. It's a bit of a challenge, but not overwhelming. What do you do first? You paid attention to what we had right here. Anytime you have a squared, you have these identities that you can look at and maybe use. It made sense to use this one because that was a secant already. Then we factored that, canceled. Then we simply changed our secant into a cosine. We had it. All right, number 6. Now let's think about that for a second. Don't rely on me to prompt you. What in the world could we do with this problem? What could we do? Look at it. What kind of makes sense?
When it says sine t, is that the same as x?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and if you don't want the t, you can make it an x. It really makes no difference. The variable makes no difference.
You get a common denominator?
Yeah. aren't we adding fractions, kids?
Yeah.
Are we adding fractions? So we're gonna get a common denominator, and the common denominator is going to be 1 minus cosine times sine. That's my common denominator. So this one, this fraction, will need a sign on the top and the bottom. This one will need a 1 minus cosine on the top and the bottom. You okay with that? So there's my denominator. Now what's my numerator? Well, that will be sine squared. And then this will be a FOIL, right? So 1 minus cosine plus cosine minus cosine squared. These are going to cancel. So now I have sine squared plus 1 minus cosine squared. Now nothing cancels at this point, so don't get carried away. Nothing's going to cancel at this point. Better keep an eye on what I'm looking for. I'm gonna write down what I want to end up with is this.
I have an idea.
Which right here.
Cosine squared, let's substitute 1 minus squared.
Minus sine
1
squared.
minus sine squared, so then you can cancel it out.
I love that idea, but here's what I want you to think about this. That actually is going to cancel out because of that negative. But here's what I want you to think about, Brady. You're on the right track. But this is where I want to end up. Notice that the top is not sines. The top is cosines. So instead of changing cosine squared into 1 minus sine squared, what if we change sine squared into 1 minus cosine squared? Now, do you understand why I'm thinking that
I
way?
just flipped it, yeah.
Well, because this is my end goal, and there's no signs up here, only cosines. So let's get rid of this. Sine squared is 1 minus cosine squared. Now, does that help me at all? Can I do anything at all with that? What do I have up there on the top?
Squares.
Got
Well,
the same thing.
I can collect like terms. Do I have 2 minus 2 cosine squared? Just one step at a time. Does that make sense to you? Now, on the top, can I factor out the 2? And then what does that leave me with? It leaves me with the difference of squares right here. So 2, 1 minus cosine, 1 plus cosine, over 1 minus cosine times sine. So, here was the key to the problem, this substitution Braden was talking about right here. We got rid of that sine, made it sine squared, made it 1 minus cosine squared. And I had another 1 minus cosine squared. So we collected those terms together, factored out the 2 so that we had the difference of squares. And what happens when we cancel? What we wanted? Isn't it just wonderful?
So what would exactly be the
All that.
all of it?
Yeah, that's proof.
Wait, so sine squared can also be, 1 minus cosine,
Yeah.
so not just cosine equals 1 minus sine, they can be.
No, they have to be squared.
Okay, yes,
They
but it
have
can
to
be,
be
it
squared.
can be.
Either one. So let's make sure we're all clear on that.
Get it to match up.
Cosine squared is 1 minus sine squared. Sine squared is 1 minus cosine squared. Those do not exist unless you're squared. Sine does not equal 1 minus cosine. They have to be squared. All right, so let's come back to Braden's idea. You're not going to do that kind of replacement unless your function is squared. Okay, if it's not squared, you can't replace it with that. Okay, all right, let me give you a sheet, we're not gonna do, this is your whole review packet and everything. All right, so don't lose this guy. You'll need to get out a sheet of paper, a notebook or something, because there's no room to do the problems on this paper.
What? You got the yellow pen.
And let's just look at that.
Look how much space there is. Literally just to get
Okay, we're looking at the front page. Pick a problem, 1 to 18, I don't care, pick one, 1 to 18.
16.
16. All right, let's look at number 16. Now, you have your reference sheet. On problem number 16, do you notice that you have, the A is like an X, it doesn't matter what letter you use. Do you notice that you have a squared here? And what did we just talk about? If they're squared, you can replace them with something. All right, so what's cotangent squared? Cosecant squared minus 1. So I'm going to replace that with cosecant squared minus 1. Now, the minute I wrote that and said that, what popped into your head? Cosecant squared minus 1. That is factorable. How does that factor? The difference of squares. Guys, you've got to pay attention to that. It happens all the time. You have a square minus a square. So how is that going to factor? Cosecant plus 1, cosecant minus 1. It's the difference of squares. Okay, so step 1, if you're paying attention, it was kind of obvious, we have a squared. So we looked on our sheet, what can I replace cotangent squared with? Well, replace it with cosecant squared minus 1. That is the difference of squares, so we factored it. What's gonna happen? These are gonna cancel, and what are you gonna be left with? Cosecant minus 1 plus 1 minus cosecant. Well, what happens when you collect by terms? They all go away, and we're left with exactly what we were supposed to be left with, which is 0. Now, I know you're relatively new to this, it's a little, confusing. But think about the steps that we did. They were all very logical steps. You just have to have those steps in your toolkit so you can pull them out and use them. Okay, so a squared, did a replacement, factor, cancel, done. All right, pick another one from the page. Any other? 17? All right, so 17. These are thetas. If you don't like thetas, make them, make them X's or something. You can't just write SEC. You have to have an angle attached to it. Are you looking for something?
Look for Daniel Michael.
Oh, he's in the 4th. Or no, he's in your 7th.
President like
So
self.
this is, not in the next step. Yeah. All right, secant minus tangent. Okay, what I was saying was, the letter you use is completely irrelevant, but you have to have a variable. So if you write SIN, you're gonna lose points, because SIN doesn't mean anything in math class without an angle attached to it. These are the angles attached to it, okay? All right, so we got that, and that's supposed to equal this. Okay, so who has a thought? Here's what you have. Who has a thought for that? Right?
So for the part on the left, it's saying that both of those are squares, correct?
No. It's saying the quantity is squared.
Redistribute.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
what
could
does
you-
that mean? I have FOIL, right? Distribute, right? This is a FOIL. That is a FOIL. Don't forget your algebra, kids. That's like x minus y squared. That times itself. So we're gonna have secant minus tangent times secant minus tangent. And that makes very good sense, because as Blake is implying, when I get this FOILed out, I am gonna have some squares, right? And I might be able to do some kind of replacement, like I did over here with the squares, but let's see. So we have secant squared minus secant tangent minus tangent secant plus tangent squared.
Yeah, there's something because negative 2.
Can I always just put X to the?
Yep. One more time. Whatever variable you want to use, I don't care, doesn't matter. All
Can you not combine secant tangent and tangent secant?
You can, they are like terms. So they they don't cancel, but they make -2 secant tangent. These two.
When you put like secant squared goes in front of the
We haven't talked about that. Yes, when we write powers on our functions, so let's use sine. Sine it, there's sine x. If we want to square that, we would have to use parentheses, because you can't just do this. Does that make sense to you? So in order to avoid always having to put in those parentheses, if we are squaring a function, we put it right after the
Oh, but
function.
that's just on the calculator, right?
Yeah, on the calculator, you have to do it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but any other way to write it like that would be incorrect.
Yes, unless you're using parentheses.
That's what I was just.
Yeah, if you want to use parentheses, that's fine, but it's just a lot of parentheses then.
It's hard for me to remember the variable. I want to say secant x.
And that's how you say it. Exactly. All right. Any ideas now?
Doesn't,
And then we got one more thing we need to do, so we need to finish this problem here. What?
Tangent squared, doesn't that equal secant?
Okay, so we got a squared here, and we got a squared there. So Alden is saying, maybe we can change one of them? Or, yeah, I think we're gonna have to change one of them, because the identity says 1 plus tangent squared equals secant squared. So could I change this secant squared into 1 plus tangent squared?
And then,
Let's see what happens. I'm only gonna change one of those.
I was gonna say, can you just add the tangent to that other thing?
Yeah. So I'm gonna change this right here into 1 plus tangent squared. And then I still have this tangent squared. So you're saying, let's make that 1 plus 2 tangent squared?
Yep.
And then minus this.
Wait, where did the two tangents?
It's just a tangent.
Secant squared is 1 plus tangent squared. So I change that, and then there's a tangent squared on the end. That may or may not have saved me any time. We'll see. Alright, now, at this point, kids, I know you could change your tangent squared into secant squared, but that would be just like going in circles, because we just changed the secant into tangent. So I'm not gonna do that. At this point, I am going to remember what all these things are. 1 is 1. 2 tan squared would be 2 sine squared over cosine squared. Now, does that make sense to you? And then I have 2, 1 over cosine, sine over cosine. So at this point, I don't want to replace this because I'll bring me back where I started. So I am just changing them all into sines and cosines. So what have I got? I got 1 plus 2 sine squared over cosine squared. Minus, right now, multiply all this together. What is that gonna be when you multiply it together?
Sine theta, or 1 plus sine theta.
On top, it's gonna be minus 2 sine, and on the bottom, it's gonna be cosine squared. Right? 2 times 1 times sine.
Why would you just put the 2 on the top of the sign on the step before this when you're getting it? Yeah.
Okay, so keep in mind, that's 2 over 1 times tangent squared. So tangent squared is sine squared over cosine squared. And so does this one. This one. These two
oh no, because it's.
out. Okay, so Michael has observed that we have a common denominator. Okay, let's hang on, Michael's on to something, I think. Michael says we can go ahead and add or subtract these two because they have the same denominator. So we can write them as one fraction. Right? I still have this 1, I'm just hanging on to that for a second. Michael says it's supposed to be sines. What about that guy right there?
1 minus sine.
1 minus sine sine squared. So I'm gonna go ahead and write what we have, and I'm gonna make my denominator 1 minus sine squared, because that's what cosine squared is. You should have that written down on your paper or committed to memory. Cosine squared is 1 minus sine squared. Now, I don't want you to, well, I'm gonna erase this one for a moment because he is separate from that. What can I do with that? And look at that really carefully. What can you do with that? Right there.
Or the factor of top.
It factors, top and bottom factor. The top factors, I can pull out a sine, right, a 2 sine, and I'll be left with sine minus 1. And how does the bottom factor?
The
Sine, or
1 minus sine, 1 plus sine. Is everybody okay with that? I know there's still a 1 out here, and that's fine, it's still there, and we're gonna need it in a minute, but it isn't part of this fraction, so I am dealing with this fraction. Because Michael had a good idea. Now, these two are opposite. Okay? It's like having 7 minus 3 and 3 minus 7. Now, they're opposite. Can I still cancel them? Yes, but they don't make a 1, they make a negative 1. Because it's like having 4 over negative 4. So they can't, these are the same number, but one's positive and one's negative. So I'm gonna go ahead and cancel those, and then leave a negative 1. So I'm just gonna put it in the top. It can go on the top or the bottom, 1 negative, either on the top or the bottom. I'm just gonna put it in the top. So now what have I got? 1 minus 2 sine over 1 plus sine. You are almost there, kids. You are almost there. This is a big problem. What? What? Well, there really isn't anything else I can do with this, Olden, but I do have a subtraction here. Could I get a common denominator? What would this 1 be if I got a common denominator? What would that 1 be?
1 over 1 plus sine.
It would be 1 plus sine over 1 plus sine. Isn't that how I would write 1? And then it is minus 2 sine over 1 plus sine. Kids, you're there. You're there. Your denominator is 1 plus sine. What's your numerator? 1 plus sine minus 2 sine? And what does that make? Combine those. What's sine minus 2 sine? So 1 minus sine. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Was that a big thing or what? Ooh, it was. Okay? So now, I'm gonna give you as a group an opportunity for a little bit of extra credit. So here's how it's gonna work. You need more than all right, here's how it's gonna work. I am gonna pick a problem from the sheet. Just random, just like you did. You are gonna do the problem as a group. But you can only, so it's not gonna be the smartest kid in the class goes up and does it. That's not how it's gonna work. The smartest kid in the class can go up and do 1 step. Right? And then somebody else has to go do a step. But, now listen, you can talk to each other and coach each other, but once you have put something up, you can't talk anymore.
I think I should just write a tablet and sit back.
Wait, at all?
No, because again, this is for the whole class, not just the smartest kid.
They write something and look back at the class and have to look at their face.
Contributes an idea.
You say it and then just shake yes.
Everyone contributes an idea.
I get so distressed.
But as soon as
All these X's.
someone writes it, so they can talk around it, but like, as soon as they write it, you can't say that.
Well, but wait, I don't want, you guys have already figured it out. I don't want the smart kid coaching everybody else. So you get to coach one time. Alright, you get to
Alright,
coach
first
one
one,
time.
you gotta foil it.
Good, Harvey.
Alright. So now he's done his coaching, so now he's
Second one, you also got to
Harvey, just get us started off.
Come on, let's go.
We're showing that.
You go, and then Brandon goes next.
Finn, go.
Dude, that's so much work.
Oh, good.
Wait, no,
No!
Jimmy, just subtract. Oh wait, are we verifying it or?
Do we want this
Yeah,
equal?
we're trying to make all of that equal to
Jimmy, sit back.
We got 10 minutes.
Verifying.
the first step.
That's a,
yeah.
it's gonna take all. So, Bush, I
Wait,
should
it's
stop.
minus the assignments.
That's it, Jimmy.
Jimmy, let's do it on paper. Let's do it on the whiteboard.
Yeah, I don't know why we're doing it. I'm doing it on paper first.
Jimmy, let's do it on paper before you do it on the whiteboard.
No, he's fine.
Wait,
Let
why?
him go. He's
So
fine.
we don't.
Jimmy, it's fine.
Dude, let
Someone
him
has to
cook,
get
dog.
MC right.
No, don't just.
Oh, wait,
And
no.
then it's signage plus.
You know, you're disrupting him. He's on a roll. Just let him
He's
go.
cooking.
He's doing fine.
Oh, so much writing. So much foiling.
Half a point extra credit.
0.5 out of 0.
Jimmy, the
0.5
other one
extra
has to be
credit.
minus 2.
Okay.
Cause it's.
Minus here?
Yeah, we messed it
Oh, why would it
There
be
goes your
Wait,
shit.
whoa.
Why would it
Why
be
is that messed up?
minus?
That's not messed up. Minus.
Oh, it is. Wait, can't you
Yeah,
just
it
change
is.
them?
It's
one
the same
time?
thing. So on the first one, you should have minus minus. On the second one, you should have
Yeah.
plus plus.
Yeah, you write the same thing twice.
Oh, we lost it.
Yeah, it's
Wait,
the
no.
Right,
it's the
No.
same
No.
thing.
He hasn't foiled it
This is
yet.
not- no, this
This,
is
wait.
It's minus.
yeah. The
Minus
squaring,
Minus, minus, and
the squaring,
And plus plus.
the squaring is just the same problem doubled.
Plus
Times
plus.
each other.
Plus.
Plus plus, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not gonna actually foil it?
No,
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 Jimmy, just-
come
no,
down.
no, 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 no.
Jimmy, you're
somebody can go check out first. Why is everybody telling me different things?
What are you guys talking about? Dude,
No, I just
have
like
you
on
ever?
the sign. It's
Do you know how to foil? Yeah.
I thought I did.
Why are we
right.
listening to Brandon? I don't
Oh,
wanna do
yeah.
it.
Now you can have it.
Do you want me to go up there and foil it?
Yeah,
What did I
yeah,
do?
foil.
That's right. Now someone has to actually.
Shine squared X.
Okay, do whatever comes next.
Yeah. He's got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, I see.
You got it. It's not that bad.
Jackson is talking. You should be listening.
Alright.
Yeah.
Good both, you're great.
You guys scared me so bad. I thought I still.
Yeah, I will see. So I have training homework, but I would get like A's on the first one, and I got A's on the test.
You got the outsides.
You can do it. It's gonna be.
So ideally, you are foiling along with him so that you can check his work.
Thanks. Set the tone.
It's kind of microscopic.
Yeah, geez,
You
Harvey.
can get up and come look at it because you can't see it.
It's small.
Yeah, it's on me. Should, do you guys want me to
No,
rewrite?
it's fine.
No, you're good.
We gotta get this done. Don't get your points till we finish it.
Do I print? Do I put parentheses on this?
Is that just the first one?
Yeah, that's the first one. This one's over here.
Yeah,
Yeah, parentheses and
of course. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
And then it's gonna be
I
the
mean, Miss
same.
Wood writes at $100 an hour.
Right? No. No, it's different.
I mean, technically, if you want to, you just say it equals 2 right now. You're not correct.
We can just write a 2 on the board, and that's
Because we know it's gonna be.
That's not wrong.
We know it's gonna be.
We wouldn't know why it's 2.
that is the right answer.
But we'd have to.
I did it in my head. I did it in my head.
Well, at least I'll go with the calculator. Like, with the calculator.
It's a proof.
Bro, look at that. After it's 4.
Alright.
Next.
Dude, that is.
We gotta.
Now we have to see how everything.
I think Eli should go now. We need to get.
Eli, do you know what to do?
We need to simplify.
You can
I
simplify
think
this.
Jacob wants to do something.
Yeah, do like term. Just get like term.
Not become we both have to not become that.
Alright, you can cancel. Go up and right. Go up.
Well, we have to do like terms now.
Sine squared minus 2
Alright,
sine.
Chuck, get up here.
Oh, that's not.
Cam,
Go
Cam.
Cam.
that not even.
Look for the ones that equal 1.
The parentheses don't.
You can like.
You know what I'm saying?
Can we get our reference key up there?
Smart person could write the whole problem on one paper and give it to you.
So I don't know if you heard his question. He's got a couple of terms up here. One is a sine cosine and one is a cosine sine. Those are the same. The order that you write them doesn't matter. You either write them sine cosine or you write cosine sine. It doesn't matter.
I don't know what the swap is.
I think it's.
No.
Is this
Yeah, you're good still. Alright. Who's next?
Over, you ready to come?
I think so.
You
Can I
got
put
it?
my notes?
Alright, 4 minutes.
Do you not?
I
guess that's only 5%.
And nobody has an A, so you ready for the final? Just we'll be on the final.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really trying not to.
Sine squared is 1 minus cosine squared.
Have you solved it? Huh? Wait, you solved it?
Harper, Amanda says something.
How is sine squared just 1?
Sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. Then you just cancel out the
Cosine.
Good.
Cancel it.
Oh my gosh, and then, yeah, say it.
That's all. Cancel the minus 2 sin x.
You only get to do one step.
Ready and go. Oh no, Amanda, cancel.
Let's go ahead and
How do you-
1 plus 2.
Cancel out.
You make the last.
We don't need the parentheses, right?
Yeah, do that. We got it. Harper.
You might have made it.
This way. What if?
And then 1 plus 1.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
Now, does anyone have a question about that?
Yes, I didn't really come up.
I don't know how else she would do it, but.
Work.
How much extra credit is
If you wrote on the board, you should get an extra point.
Listen, so the way that works is, not in our next class, but in the one after that, we're gonna have a little quiz over this. I will give you 3 problems, and you'll pick one. You'll look at it and you'll pick one to do. I will add 3 bonus points onto that quiz score because of this work right here. So you did a good job all together. But one more class and then a quiz, and you have to be able to do this kind of thing by yourself.
Oh, I'm on a tree.
Oh, looks like you don't get extra credit.
It'll be Monday, the quiz will be
I'm
Monday.
freaking not on the board.
Wait,
No.
did you say no? You're here Monday, right?
No, we leave Monday.
We leave after school.
No,
Do we get breakfast?
and then you
I don't get that on anything.
She said they like, remember this a couple years ago, like, I don't know how long ago, they just like, usually like, it's just 2 hours. I can't memorize all that stuff.
Quiet.
Also, juniors, remember to check your email. When we are released at 2:45 today, you will be doing your digital writing test in your SAT room. Please be sure to check your email to find out which room that is. Everybody else will be released at 3:15 today, or 2:45 today. Now let us pause.